of Naruto as Madara and Hashirama's grandson part 10. Let's go. Naruto was approached by many shinobi, including the Hokage, the village elders, a lot of jonin, some anbu, and just people who were curious. They were all wondering how and what Naruto did with Orochimaru. I mean, he was fighting at an incredible level after all, at such a young age. People were bound to ask questions. And it was at this time that he actually did reveal to the public that indeed he was the one and only Jinchuriki. The Jinchuriki of all-tailed beasts. All-tailed beasts that have been missing ever since about 7 years now. All 9 of them, well, 8 if you exclude Kurama, who had already been gone since the night of the Nine-Tailed attack. But yes, Naruto indeed was the Jinchuriki of all-tailed beasts, and definitely displayed the power of that. Though now people are wondering if he was even a human, harboring all of the tailed beasts. Could he even be considered human? He wasn't like the rest of them, had insane chakra, had Kekkei Genkai that they'd never even heard of, and was basically immortal at this point. Could he truly be called immortal, or even especially a human? Naruto tried to keep his cool, but before he got much time to think, they were introduced to the semi-finals of the Chunin exams, as there had to be preliminary rounds due to the excess of participants. This means one-on-one fights, each one having one person to continue the round, one failing the Chunin exams. Now the fights were pretty similar to canon, as there were some minor differences though. Of course, Naruto, who still fought against Kiba, absolutely annihilated him, winning with a simple flick in the air that created enough wind pressure to push Kiba against the wall, knocking him out. That surprised everyone in the room, or rather the genin who hadn't even heard of Naruto's incredible accomplishment of defeating a Sannin yet. But even the jonin who had heard of his insane feat were still shocked. He created that much power with a flick into the air. And he didn't even look like he was actually trying. That's insane. Then came Tsuki's round, who fought against Sakura, and of course, I don't know if you know this, but Tsuki easily won, and she didn't even have to use anything remotely close to a sharingan, so with simple taijutsu, she annihilated Sakura. As, even if you like Sakura as a character, she's just not strong at this point, in comparison to the Uchiha, right? I hope everyone's okay with that, as there's a very split opinion in the fandom of Sakura. Some hate her, some love her. It really depends, but I hope everyone's happy with that. Anyways, now it was Sasuke's fight. Sasuke once again fought against the normal person that he fought in canon. However, he was no match for Sasuke here. Sasuke did not have the curse mark and had much more experience and training in the past 4 years of his life, which is why Sasuke didn't even have to use remotely any special powers and was simply able to win the fight, similar to his sister, with just a little bit of taijutsu, nothing else. So all of Team 7 is going to the finals pretty easily, and then the rest of the fights are pretty normal, just that the sound genin aren't there, which just means that there's going to be extra characters instead of them that don't really matter, in this story at least. Now that everyone has gone through the process of the preliminary rounds between the second and the final exam of the junior exams, each one person that passed will have 1 month of training and recovery period until the finals of the junior exams begin, where there's going to be a huge audience and they're actually going to fight one-on-one matches similar to today, but in a huge arena, being watched and observed by many shinobi, civilians, politicians, and more. Before Naruto could leave with his 2 siblings, willing to celebrate the day, as they were now on to the finals, The Hokage called for him. Naruto told his two siblings to go on ahead without him, and he'd catch up to them pretty easily afterwards, laughing it off and then walking over to Hiruzen. Next to Hiruzen was standing a man. This man, one of the Sannin, named Jiraiya the Gallant. Hiruzen introduced Jiraiya to Naruto, and the other way around too, as he was saying that Jiraiya was Naruto's godparent, and actually his father's master, which intrigued Naruto. Of course, she knew Jiraiya as a historical figure, as he was pretty important in the Second Shinobi War, but she didn't really know him as family, so it was going to be interesting to get to know him more personally. But they were set to train, which kind of surprised Naruto, as Hiruzen himself saw many feats of Naruto over the months and years of him being extraordinarily past any level of a Genin, Chunin, or even past the level of Jonin, as not too long ago, only a few days, he was able to defeat a Sannin after all. But that's exactly the reason that Jiraiya came. Jiraiya came knowing, or rather being informed now, that Orochimaru wanted to attack the Leaf Village, but Naruto stopped him. And Jiraiya just couldn't wait and wanted to see Naruto for himself. So over the next month, Naruto would spend a lot of time with Jiraiya, but also do some training actually. Now, Naruto blows Jiraiya's socks off, as everything that Jiraiya throws at him, Naruto has mastered. The Rasengan, boom. Chakra sealed, boom. Chakra control, boom. Everything. Even in sparring matches, Naruto was not too shabby, and if he actually went out, he would definitely win, Jiraiya thought, as Naruto had never gone full all-out mode against a fellow shinobi. However, Naruto did get the Toad summoning, as he didn't actually have any summoning yet, so that was a plus for him, though realistically he didn't need the summoning at all, but he got it anyways. And now we skip to the finals of the Chunin exams, as nothing interesting happened in this 1 month. Naruto enters the arena, as when he does, he sees the crowd cheering and yelling all over. They'd heard of Naruto and what he did, and many people came just to watch him fight. As before, they'd come for the two uchiha, who were very strong, but now there was this candidate, possibly stronger than the other two, perhaps even a completely different level. Now the fights began like normal, and Sasuke was still late though. So first, it was Naruto's fight. Naruto, fighting against Neji Hyuga, thought that this would be a really easy matchup, as he kind of had figured out what would happen if Neji actually activated his Byakugan, and it went like this. Naruto didn't go into any fighting position, as he knew he had already won the fight way before it started. Neji, after seeing Naruto's power in the preliminary rounds, was a little bit afraid and was in a fighting stance ready to attack, though then activated his Byakugan, which made him fall back and lose his concentration. What he saw was 9 different colored and differently positioned chakra sources inside Naruto, as well as his own, so in total 10 chakra sources, each one stronger than the last, altogether having so much power that Naruto should be exploding of energy. Neji, even though he was completely baffled, still tried his luck as he threw a barrage of punches with his Hyuga techniques, trying to attack these 10 chakra points, though that hope was quickly diminished as Naruto just dodged, not even using any of his fingers or anything, even going as far as tucking his hands behind his back, just focusing his eyes and moving his upper body. Naruto completely outmatched Neji, and then dashed towards him. Naruto completely outmatched Neji, and then dashed towards him and flicked him with his hand right in the stomach, sending him flying back 5 meters, about 16 feet if you're American, which knocked out Neji. And after just 2 seconds, medics were called in, Neji was escorted out, and Naruto declared the winner. Immediately, the crowd was cheering once more, Now, seeing even just a little bit of Naruto's power, they were amazed. The next few fights were very interesting too, but more importantly, Sasuke against Gaara, as Sasuke is very late, but Naruto, after being very annoyed at his brother, went to get him himself, as then Naruto brought Kakashi and Sasuke with him, as he did destroy their cool looking entrance, though that would have to do as Sasuke was about to get expelled, as you gotta remember in this version, the Kazekage is the actual Kazekage, not Orochimaru. So whilst there is still a lust to have Sasuke fight, it's not as big as Orochimaru wanting Sasuke to fight with Gaara, if you know what I mean. Now, one thing I'm going to change about the story here is that the fight between Sasuke and Gaara is going to be changed once more, in that it is actually the fight between Sasuke and Rock Lee. Now, once again, it is because Gaara was basically nerfed, having the 9 One-Tails being taken out of him, he lost quite a chunk of his power. Now, don't get me wrong, Gaara is a strong fighter, but against 5 Gates Lee, he simply has no chance in this, as his cocoon of sand is not as strong, and his sand jutsu, while still very powerful, especially for his some bit lack of training, are very powerful, they're not even close to what they were in canon. So, simply put, Lee won and now he's fighting against Sasuke. Now this fight starts off as everyone would expect, Sasuke activating his 3 Tomoe Sharingan and Lee activating no gates yet, but taking off his weights as he knew he wouldn't be able to fight normally, or rather normally being with weights on. Immediately the audience is baffled at the incredible weight of the weights, and then the fight begins as Lee is very fast, but Sasuke's mastery of the Sharingan allows him to keep up. Even if he's physically not as fast, his eyes are, so he's able to keep up, but then they both want to step it up. Lee now has to do something, as Sasuke, whilst he is using quite a bit of chakra keeping up his Sharingan, he can still go on if he continues to fight like this for quite a while. So then Lee activates his first gate, and Sasuke uses his 3 Tomoe to the full ability that he can, being able to completely predict Lee's movements and try to make strategies on how to counter them in mere milliseconds. Now the fight arrived to a new level, as it is at least a Chunin level fight at this point. I'd say about mid Chunin to high Chunin if you really want to push it, but it's kind of between low and mid Chunin, realistically. But then things escalate even more, Lee stepping back for the 3rd time now, putting some distance between the two fighters. He activates 2 more gates, now being at the 3rd gate of the 8, shocking the audience as they know of this legendary technique. It is a forbidden technique, though it is known throughout the lands as the most powerful taijutsu technique to ever exist. But then Sasuke does something unthinkable and turns on his Mangekyo Sharingan, his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, which he got from switching eyes with his sister, his twin sister Tsuki. Now the fight is definitely above a mid-Chunin level, as the audience can't wait for what's going to happen, and Shinobi on the sidelines are actually thinking of putting up a barrier for the audience in case something happens, as if they continue to escalate like this, they're going to be fighting on Kage level soon. Of course, that's probably not going to happen, but still, this is going pretty insane at the moment. The audience can't look away, as every second something new seems to happen. However, Sasuke right now is completely outmatching Lee, as yes, the 2 gates did help him a lot, increasing his speed and power. Well, Sasuke has the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, which is leagues above the normal 3 Tomoe. So now, Lee goes into the 5th gate. In his 5th gate, he is so incredibly fast that Sasuke is actually having trouble to keep up with his Sharingan. Yeah, his Sharingan can see a lot of things, but when Lee's moving this fast, it is a little bit hard. Now Sasuke uses his 2nd Chidori, as the first one was missed because of Lee's pure speed. This one almost hitting part of Lee's shoes. But then Lee is sick of it, and activates his 6th gate, This is truly, truly pushing him to the best that he can. As in this story, he had 1 extra month of training, which might not sound like a lot, but it is a lot. Lee didn't get injured, so 1 month of training is 1 extra gate for him. So 6 gates Lee is now fighting against Eternal Mangekyo or Sharingan Sasuke. And it is truly at least a Jonin level fight at this point. It has to be. I mean, this is insane. At least some form of barrier is actually put up between the fighting area and the audience to protect them, as gushes of wind are coming to hit even the faces of the audience that are sitting quite a while away, just from the mere punches and kicks from Rock Lee. Naruto is intrigued at the fight, as he knows whoever wins this, Naruto will fight in the next round, and he's fine with either one, but he is interested to fight Rock Lee sometime. But at this point, Lee is simply too fast and too powerful for Sasuke to dodge, and when he blocks, well, Lee is so fast and strong that his punches and kicks carry enough weight to push Sasuke back multiple centimeters, a few inches if you're American. And at this point, Sasuke is actually losing. And I know what you're gonna say, Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan should easily win against 6 gates. But think about this. Sasuke is not gonna use something like the Amaterasu against Lee in the Chunin exam. And even if he would, 6 gates is very strong. I mean, you gotta think, 8 gates was able to compete with Jubidara. So 6 gates can probably compete with a level higher than canon Sasuke. Am I right or am I wrong? Well, I guess we'll see in the comment section. Anyways, now the fight is closing up, as Lee does have the overhand, and is slowly but surely pushing Sasuke into a corner, and then kicks him in the chest, throwing against a wall, making him bleed out of his mouth. And then it's an ease for Rock Lee to karate punch Sasuke in the back and the spine precisely to knock him out, not hurting any of his vital areas, as Rock Lee is an honorable fighter. And whilst Naruto isn't too happy that his brother got, well, defeated like this, he will likely still get the rank of Chunin for his incredible display of power. But he is excited to fight Rock Lee next, though what he sees next is shocking. But that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!